The Untold Struggles During COVID-19.
The pandemic coronavirus has left us all scared and impacted. Many of us are considering how to combat and overcome the unprecedented global scenarios we are confronted with. People are suffering from the pandemic, and I suddenly see them famished and pleading for the assistance from the government and to the others. So I needed to relate myself during the pandemic crisis. In addition, to emphasize the untold struggles throughout the pandemic. The impact of pandemic had different consequences depending on the status of the society. Some adapt to work online, ordering food online, and others have no choice but to be exposed to the virus to keep them alive and the economic functioning. Healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, police officers, delivery drivers, teachers, and the other who keep society and the economic running in the face of the pandemic are those who are exposed. Let me share you guys those struggles I experienced during the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, I learned how tough it is to live in the community. I once tested a positive for COVID-19. It was one of the problems for me to figure out how could I fight for it since there were no vaccine then. I was embarrassed by what had occurred to me. Accepting the pandemic is tough since everyone around me distanced to protect themselves. It's ironic since it suddenly impacted my family's living conditions. Nonetheless, I did something to help us endure the current situation. I began live stream in the Kumu app on my phone, where I could entertain people while earning diamonds to convert into cash. Since then, I've enjoyed using the app, which has helped me to become a better listener, educator, and entertainer as well. It became my way of living. Then I bought the things that would help my school, and I see the fruits of my great deal of effort. However, my mother and brother were both admitted at the same time. I was depressed and concerned about how could I provide something. Every day I did my live stream, asking for help and support from my friends while performing. During my live stream, I heard various stories and challenges from people who used the app during the pandemic. Many of my friends were OFW, and as they told me about the impact of the coronavirus, I realized that we are different people living in the other places, but we share the same feelings and struggles during the pandemic.
Ayan. Thank you so much po, Sir Hayes. And we have...
Because of those difficulties, I discovered that health is truly wealth. Having a good health and being in a shape gives you more energy to strive for your family while aiming for your dreams. The good news for us is that the world is gradually coping with the devastations brought about by the pandemic and keeping its pace in returning things to normal. Students started going back to the school, and the other being able to work on site. We work together to improve our environment while allowing our system to evolve. So don't give up on your dreams. No dream should be sacrificed. We need to keep going and face every challenges that comes our way. That is something I've learned during the pandemic. Thank you.